I love this rail. No, it is not a step. It's not a step for you to get into your truck. It's a rock rail, and it's frame mounted, which means if you hit something, it's not gonna bend your floorboard. It's just gonna lift the truck off of it. So
I'll get tested here in a second.
We're gonna find out in a second. I'm not gonna worry about it this time because we have proper protection.
Welcome to the Texas Truck Channel, and yes, you've seen by the thumbnail, it's the Trailhunter, and we're doing a hill test, finally. We're excited about this one. There's a lot of cool things we're looking forward to testing out. Brian's gonna give us the scoop on that. What do we got?
We've got the Monroney. First thing first, Craig, we gotta get into the pennies and the dollars because, well, kind of quite a few on this one. This is a 2025 Trailhunter. It's obviously four-wheel drive because it comes with standard. The only options are mud guards, a ball mount, bed mat, tie downs, and a tailgate insert thing, blah, blah, blah. Comes out to you after destination, $64,944, which is big truck money. So that being said, this is focused for a task, and I like that you have the option with the Trailhunter. This is meant for overlanders, not Baja, not admittedly mall crawling like some guys do with their lower trim trucks and put rims on them, not Hawaiian style by any means. It's meant to be kitted out to do low speed trail use, not crazy rock crawling, but some rock crawling. Not crazy Baja, but if it jumped, it wouldn't be the end of the world. Good middle ground for a lot of people.
That's pretty cool. No one else really ever done that.
No one does that.
Truck-wise.
Raptors, that's not what this is for. Now, people overland Raptors, but this is really focused for payload. So we're gonna talk about that more in just a minute. First thing you know, Craig, you got the good one because the headlights tell you it's a Trailhunter. In the headlights, I actually kind of love that little nugget there. That's cool. One more thing to point out, Craig, we've had if you're long-term fans, you know this already, we've had a TRD off-road trim. We've owned one. We've lived with this truck. We like the platform quite a bit. Something this has that ours didn't is this angle cut right here. The Trailhunter and the TRD Pro have this cut out, and it makes it so if you come up to an obstacle like a wall, you can turn right and you can drive the heck up that thing because you have such a deep cut. I like that. That's focused. That's meaningful. The downside is it is plastic, so if you rub it, you're going to scratch it. The other thing that's good news, Craig, is down below, if you get to something that's serious, yeah, there's a little bit of plastic here, but right there, very serious factory skid plate. Like that a lot.
And it says Trailhunter.
Hit it so when you impact the earth, it'll stamp Trailhunter on the ground. Leave no mark or just leave Trailhunter. Anyways, you do have bronze lettering, which I think looks really good. The optics of this truck are freaking awesome. They have a high output light bar right here that works only on high beams, which is kind of cool. Rigid fog lights in the front that toggle from amber to clear. And then of course, this little box right here means that it comes with the standard Toyota Safety Sense 3.0, which we are big fans of. It works very well.
Right, I'll tell you, this light right here is great because it actually lights everything up at night. It's pretty nice. It jiggles a little bit, but on smooth roads, not a problem.
Hey, Craig. Hey, you can't go there.
Yeah, I know. But what I was looking at is I was looking at my OnX app and I was checking to see who the landowner was, so I might reach out to him and see if we can get some access.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean we will, but we could. And more importantly, Brian, look at this bad boy over here. This is a Trailhunter. It's hunting trails on the OnX app that you're gonna be needing, and that is awesome. If you want more info on the OnX Off Road app and all the cool things that it provides you, from trail maps to offline maps to all the different layers you can add to it, check out the link below. Plus, you can get 20% off using the TTC promo code.
That is a plastic front bumper, and that's kind of what happened. So let's talk about wheel and tire, Craig, because this is actually really important for an off-roader. These are, unfortunately, 18s, not 17s. I'm not crazy about that, but 18s are the new 17s. And look, there's so many tires available. If you don't like these Wranglers, like we don't really love them, you can do whatever you want here. These are 265/70 18s. That comes out to a 33-inch tire.
From the factory, from Toyota? Nice.
From the factory. And these tires, at least on the road, have been fine. I haven't had major complaints.
They're okay.
They're not wallowing, they're not making weird noises like some of the Wranglers we have. I think, Craig, I know why. Come check this out. See that right there? Made in Canada. That's why that's working out. Now, suspension-wise, we do have a suspension lift from the factory. Good for 2 inches in the front, 1.5 in the rear, and it is partnered with ARB's brand Old Man Emu. If you've heard of Overlanding, you know what Old Man Emu is. And it has a forged upper control arm with Trailhunter stamped on it. It's kind of cool you get the stuff that the third-gen Tacoma owners were doing immediately when they bought it. This just gets from the factory. It gets in your financing out the gate. You're not doing credit card stuff or whatever. It's kind of handled. Coming on down, more off-road stuff, Craig. People gotta know. There's a brand new right there, Trailhunter with the badge. And this rail right here, Craig, I love this rail. No, it is not a step. It's not a step for you to get into your truck. It's a rock rail, and it's frame mounted, which means if you hit something, it's not gonna bend your floorboard. it's just gonna lift the truck off of it. So
I'll get tested here in a second.
we're gonna find out in a second. I'm not gonna worry about it this time because we have proper protection. Big fans of that. Coming on back, carrying on the ARB theme, we have the ARB rear bed hoop, which as far as I can tell, looks cool, and that's about it. I don't know what functionally you do with this other than having molly panel right here. But our boys at Cali Race have a bunch of inner bed molly panel options and actual bed racks that are more functional, but it's kind of cool you get something from the factory. Again, Martin McFly would love this on his truck. Out back, Craig, because we have the higher trim, you get 5-link rear suspension instead of leaf springs. Now, in all fairness, more than half of the trims on Tacoma now come with the 5-link rears. This has the Old Man Emu shocks in the back, and again, 2-inch lift in the front, 1.5 inch in the back. Pretty happy with that. Let's keep coming around to the back, Craig. You do have an actual ARB metal rear bumper. I love this because this whole corner on the the lower trim we had, the TRD Off Road, was plastic and painted. I was terrified we were gonna rub a rock and just like scrape the paint off. This is durable. It's not gonna fold or crack or bend. I like that. I'm glad they give you that from the factory. In fact, I would like to see this on the front if I'm honest. Carrying on the ARB theme, you have the red tow hooks. I think you could either pull a helicopter or get picked up by a helicopter with. It looks so durable. Big fan of that. One more thing you will see back here that you don't see actually is an exhaust tip, and that's because it is dumped further up by the axle so you can't drag it coming off of an obstacle. So what that means, Craig, is coming off of obstacles, you're protected from the factory. The front's a little bit exposed, but I think ARB is gonna have an aftermarket solution for that. Let's hop inside.
All right, Brian's gonna talk about some of the goodies we have inside, and look, Toyota invented some of these goodies in this segment, and they carry on here, and there's a lot. Brian, what all kind of goodies do we have?
We've got everything, and one thing I forgot outside to mention, approach, breakover, and departure. Approach angle is 35 degrees, breakover is 24, departure is 22. Pretty good for a truck like this in a factory configuration. They should be proud of that. It's pretty good. And also, this TNGA-F platform that we're driving right now articulates really well in the rear end, so that will pay dividends here. Now, let's talk about the goodies inside, Craig. We do have, and before we get anything else that's Trailhunter specific, the higher end trims have this view button right here. I like this view. You can actually see where your wheels are gonna go in this camera right here. And then you can go to rear, front, you can see what the wheels are actually doing. And they work really well, really good high rev.
That's a good system.
In terms of off-road modes, you have them. You've got multi-terrain select, which only works when you're in 4 low, unfortunately, which we can do that. But you also have crawl control and downhill assist. You do have a locking rear diff, which also works in what mode, Craig?
4 low.
4 low. What about 2-wheel drive?
Nope.
What about 4 high?
No.
Just so unfortunate. It's just a choice. But more importantly, Craig, that this has and the other trims don't, stabilizer disconnecting bar, which we have tested before, and it works really well. So
no, and that's pretty cool because, you know, we've had KDSS in Toyota products before.
Yep.
We've never had anything in a Tacoma though, and now we get this, so that's pretty neat.
Yeah, so I'm going to structure this episode a little bit different because people have asked for this. People have asked for us to use drive modes instead of just what can it do to get up and then call it there. So what we're going to do, Craig, is we're going to do 3 versions of this test.
Oh, okay.
One is for the people. They've asked for modes. We're going to let it do it on its own and use hill ascent control and crawl control or whatever, Toyota's off-road cruise control, and drive itself up the hill and see how that goes.
Okay.
We have enough protection in this truck. I'm willing to let it find out on its own. That's a big plus. They can do that. Then we're going to do it if you weren't using drive controls, and then we're going to do the one I want to do.
Yes.
Which is, can we make it up one-wheel drive, because we also have protection to bounce and find out. So
let's do it.
First things first, get the drive modes out of the way. If you don't want to see that, skip ahead to the others. I'm going to put it in 4 low because it's going to make us, and we're in 4 low. That was pretty smooth. We've had these hang up a lot with Toyotas in the past. While it's not as quick as some of the competitors, it is much better than the older Tacomas. That is one thing I really like about the new Toyota products. Now we're going to put it into crawl control. Okay, so now we've got downhill ascent crawl control. I can put it on medium and let it just go by itself, Craig.
Okay, I like it.
If something goes bad, just go.
Good. What was that again? Okay, I like it. We'll do it. All right, it's time to see what happens here. We don't normally use crawl control in them Toyotas, but it's really good in these modern Toyotas. I mean, it's impressive. It doesn't make a bunch of noise, and it's just really smooth. So let's see what happens, and I'll do the whatever if we need to. So we'll see. Got it medium speed. It's getting a little bit, once it's a little incline, it kind of slows down and figures it out. We're no slippage yet. We're in 4 low, which is not surprising. Approaching the obstacle now, and no touching. Plenty of clearance there. Now it's going to think about it, and this is what MPS does. Oh, and it got right past it. A little bit of bump on the control arm, but we're fine. All right, Brian, I've got a question before we talk about anything. Did you have the rear locker on?
I did not have the rear locker on.
Okay, see, that's impressive.
It's super impressive.
You saw the passenger front wheel and the driver rear wheel spin just a second, and then MTS like, no, got it.
I don't know what it looked like out there, but it felt like it spun like that.
Yeah, that's it.
And that was it.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh, got it. And I even heard the turbo spool, which is super fun. I like that.
And this is what people talk about. They give high praise to the MTS.
Yeah.
That's why.
It's genuinely good, and I don't like off-road drive modes or others to
me
myself,
either, but
it works. So
you want to do it yourself this time?
I'll do it myself this time, and I'm going to do the good old, screw it. If it doesn't one-wheel drive, then we'll skip the other version. Let's see if we can make it one-wheel drive.
All right, let's do it. Okay, Brian, we're gonna try it in just two-wheel drive. Nothing that's, because you can't do lockers or anything in two-wheel drive.
No, but I will leave traction control on to see if it can do some brake force on its own.
Okay.
Diff lock open, because you can't do that.
Yep.
Two-wheel drive, which really means one-wheel drive.
All right.
I'm gonna give it a little bit of a run up,
All right.
and we're gonna go for it.
Okay, let's see. Let's do it.
Okay, let's try traction off.
Okay.
We tried. Hang on. Let's go, Toyota!
Look, Brian, yeah, sometimes less is more. We just need a little less throttle there. I know
Well,
you think more is always better.
No. I was letting up. I'm not lying. Boost hit and it was
Okay,
hanging.
okay. Yeah, no problem. This, Brian, that's what 33s,
Yes.
11 inches of ground clearance,
Yes.
and protection to give you confidence. Dude.
Okay, so let's go off the list of vehicles that have made this one-wheel drive.
Not me.
It's been all the Raptors. That's impressive.
Yeah.
Gladiator didn't make it either.
Nope.
Really, it's just all the Raptors. Nothing
Yeah.
else has made it. Comment below if you know. I'm sure we're forgetting something. But it's a very elite list of vehicles that can make it in two-wheel drive. What it requires is enough tire, enough traction with that tire, which these Goodyears did get it done.
Yep.
Full credit. Ground clearance with a combination of protection that we're willing
Yes.
to bump a little bit.
Yes.
Now, I heard us bump a control arm, which
Yep.
we've bumped on these before, which
Yep.
are designed to slide.
They're fine.
They're fine. They're meant to do that. We didn't rub the nose.
Nope.
We didn't rub the side steps.
That's
This is a
impressive.
very purpose-built thing, and it's good at off-roading.
We're gonna have the TRD Pro soon.
Yeah, we might jump that thing on
I'm
this.
really curious to try that
Okay.
because I'm wondering, as a Toyota fanboy, TRD Pro used to be like the pinnacle. Like,
Right.
is this the new pinnacle? Because what do you lose? It'll
Well,
be interesting. We'll have to stay tuned for those.
Yeah, I'll probably get
Yeah.
an opinion
Yeah.
on that. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about
Yeah,
when we
yeah.
drive it. It's coming
Yeah.
soon. So anyways, thank you for watching. I'm glad this thing did as well as it did.
Awesome.
I do like the Trailhunter trim a lot. I'm glad it exists.
It's a lot of fun and it does a lot of things well.
Yep.
Gosh, it's awesome. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one.
Take it easy.